Hi, blessed people, welcome. My name is Natalie. Please subscribe so that when I post a video, you can know and get to know my family a little bit better. We're a family that likes to be known as Jamaican. We're a family that loves God and God loves us back. What I'm making here is what is known as cornmeal porridge, where we use cornmeal to make it. It's something like the same thing. I guess like powder, when they grind out the corn, then it becomes cornmeal. For those of us who don't know, yeah, cornmeal, almost similar to what is used for making grits. So I'm using the yellow cornmeal. You have the white one, but I'm using the yellow one right now. As you hear in the background, there's discussion with my family. It's something that is usually done in my family. We have discussions on things where it's concerning the Bible. In the background, you're hearing my husband, my sister, my mother, and my kids. They're all discussing a topic that my son had brought up to my husband. I would be a part of this conversation if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. But apparently I have to be making this meal for my kids, so yeah, I wasn't a part of it. How are you doing today? I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling blessed. And remember, as long as you have breath, you're a blessing today because you're alive. And once you're alive, anything is possible. It doesn't matter whatever noise, whatever is happening around you. As long as you have life, there is hope. Always remember that. And you're in a blessed position.
No, no, adorning, not on that type of, not saying that when you're in God, there's a difference. It wasn't an adornment. Right. And then, right. So you say you don't want to talk about that anymore. And I know the Lord makes you mess them up. And we have to think of God, we act like we.
Yeah, this is a phone conversation too. It's like we do this thing where we have our WhatsApp chat when we're discussing the Bible. Yeah, but this is a phone conversation. They're not actually in the house with me. I'm at home alone with the kids right now. Hey, and please don't try this at home. Don't let your pot get hot before you pour the water in it. I had it sitting a little bit too long on the stove top. I should have actually thrown the water in before I put on the pot. Remember now, warning, don't try this at home. Yeah. Oh, Lord. I just poured in the cornmeal in the water, and I'm gonna have to constantly stir it so it doesn't get lumpy to keep it smooth. After all, nobody wants to drink a lumpy porridge. Definitely not me. You gotta just keep stirring it until you see there is no more lumps. Then you can turn it down. But at this point, you also have to be careful and to make sure because it will have bubbles all over the place. That's what I like to call it. But it will be boiling and you will have the liquid coming up, and that's kind of dangerous, as you'll find out in the end. Stay tuned. Yeah, but be careful because you want to turn it down. Don't do what I'm doing now. Definitely not. Remember now to turn it down at this point, so that it slowly cooks. I didn't do it because I was kind of on a rush and it wasn't the best thing to do. I'm using Keelan cinnamon. You see, it's a little bit softer than the normal one. It's the other one is harder. It's not so easily broken. But this one, it's the more healthier one, but the other one has a nicer flavor. So I would advise you to use the other one if you want it more spicy. But elsewise, that one is the best. This is the bubble I was talking about. And I should have turned it down, but you see, me doing what I'm not supposed to do. Uh, I actually turned it down after. And this stove is not one that I'm really familiar with too much when it comes on to. I've been using this stove for more than a year now, almost two, and I've still haven't gotten the handle of using it. It's just different from what I'm used to. I'm more used to the gas stove because my first house that I had, I was using gas stove all my life. Before that, it was gas stove, so it's a little tricky. And I know each stove is different, whether it be gas or electric, but I haven't got the hang of this one yet. I'm always shifting stuff back and forth on this one because sometimes it gets too hot on one side and then the next side it's just like, you know, confusing sometimes if you don't know or remember what to do. And I have burned a lot of food if I don't keep my eyes on it. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. I got distracted by one of my kids and turned away while doing something I wasn't supposed to do while I was boiling porridge, and it came right out on my hand. Actually, as I was wiping around the stove, I love to clean as I go, but it's not always the wisest in every situation. This was one of them that it wasn't the wisest thing to do. I'm using aloe vera right here. If you don't know, it's good for if you get burned to put it on the skin, not when it's has that yellow thing in between it that can irritate the skin more. But I had this sitting for a while. I always just cut them and keep them inside just for an incident like this. Yeah. And I think this was like that. It was like I almost think it was like a second burn. It was terrible. It's coming on a little better now. As you know, this is a voiceover and this was before, but yeah. Don't do that, please. Don't wipe your stove while you have something bubbling on it. Yeah, not the wisest thing to do. Look at this stove having me all confused. If I should cover it fully, if I should, which is not the wisest thing with doing porridge too. It boils over like that. But I was wondering, I was so confused. I'm gonna make some fried green plantain now and some bacon for my kids. I keep saying for my kids when really this is one of my favorite too, but it's good to know as a mom you're cooking something that you grew up on and your kids enjoy. I really don't know what it is with these kids because most Caribbean people that I know have kids up here, they're saying that their kids don't gravitate at their food that they grew up on. And basically, they are craving stuff that aren't the best, more likely, I would say, junk. And it's not like it even has the better taste for some reason. They are just, I don't know if it's in the air, but it's like they just want their food that they have here. And sometimes it's just not the best quality thing. It's not the healthiest choice for them. My daughter is not a fan of sausage, so I'm always doing 3. And when hubby's here, I do 4. Sausage. I'm gonna peel the green plantain now to fry it. I usually fry it in the oil that is at a high heat, and the second fry I turn it down. Just for the record, in advance. I think the easiest way to peel green plantain is to cut it. Like I would dice it in three and then cut it across and down. But I grew up doing it this way, and somewhat it just grows on me. So it's like my comfort. I'm in my comfort zone when I do it this way, but I think it would be easier because I've done it that way before and it's easier. But this is
Yes.
how I am familiar doing it all my
You have
life.
a
But
3:30 appointment?
it's easier if you would just cut it in three and then do the same method across and then pull it off. I'm gonna grate us some nutmeg now. And nutmeg is something that you don't want to use too much of. It does change the taste if you use too much of your porridge, not in a way that is good. It has a little bitterish taste, and overall, it's not something that you want to use a lot of. It's good, but too much is not good. Then I'm gonna pour in some vanilla right now. And just like the nutmeg, you just want a little. And you want to use some sort of sweetening. I'm going to use condensed milk. That's the coconut condensed milk. But you can use any milk at or sweetener of your choice. And I'm using some granulated sugar. But as for sweetening, it's your choice. So I took the plantains out and I'm going to refry them at a lower heat. Here I'm using some salt to just over it, and I'm gonna press it down to refry it. But sometimes I do use a little sugar because my daughter like it that way. But don't tell any Jamaicans, please. That is my house secret. Something that is not usually that we would do. Here's my press that I'm gonna use to press the plantain right now to refry it or to fry it one more time. And you want to make sure it's fried properly before you do this, or else it's just gonna break apart. And that's why you do it at a high heat at the beginning stage. I want to tell you, back in the days, my mom, she used to just split the plantain skin. She used to put it in between it and squeeze it down. But because there's so much chemicals that they're using on the stuff these days, I don't think it's advisable to do that anymore. Here it's going. Patiently and anxiously, my kids are waiting, so I'm gonna feed those kids now. Thanks for watching. And I threw in some cinnamon crackers like my Jamaican way.